Grab your drinks, preheat your ovens. It's time for Chuckin Muffins, and we're back again with another podcast. I'm once again joined by Eddie, but he's not really himself today. Eddie, would you like to explain why?
Henrik Lundqvist is no longer a New York Ranger. And this injustice cannot go unpunished. Even though I don't see any punishment that the Rangers get from this, aside from having $13 million dead cap for next season. But we're looking forward, looking ahead. We're gonna hope it was the right move.
I think
it pretty much was. It was the right move.
Mm-hmm. It really was.
I'm just upset about it.
No, it sucks. It really does. He was just such a great guy, such a great goalie. He's been there forever. It's just
the most sensational player any New York sports team has had the pleasure of witnessing. And he gets bought out in his last year.
Do you forget Andrew Ladd plays on the island?
I'll kill you.
All right, so we'll get back to Lundqvist in a little bit, but now we're going to get on to the 2020 Stanley Cup champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning. How about that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they finally, finished up. They've had this roster that was capable of destroying cities, tearing down monuments for years.
6 years now they've had,
and they never did it. And now they finally did. Stamkos showed up, played one shift of hockey. He scored a brilliant goal and then left, but that was pretty much enough. And the reporter said, like, when he left, he said, I'm very confident in what's about to happen. And then they ended up winning the Stanley Cup.
They did it without him too.
They did do it.
They won the cup without their number one center.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that crazy. Just everything that they overcame from last year to this year, it's crazy. They got swept last year by Columbus in the playoff. They were number one seed, 62 wins, broke all these regular season records, and then they got washed in the playoffs. Absolutely washed. So what they do in the offseason, they went and picked up not necessarily like better players, but more or less like role/impact players like Goudreau, Coleman, Bogosian. They picked up like all these guys and helped them win the cup, put them over the top. So
yeah, and now Florida's having the Stanley Cup parade. So global pandemic's gonna get back to it in a few months, but it's whatever, I guess. Thanks, Florida.
Let's not get too much on that. But we're also going to quickly touch on this. Last podcast, we started out by saying something. I'll actually bring it up right now. We actually brought up
pretty much what happened was a picture surfaced of Patrick Lundqvist with his equipment out. The original post that we showed, actually, he deleted it just because it was actually proven false. So I'd like to apologize for that. It says Patrick Hornquist has tossed all of his Penguins gear and left it on the driveway of his home after being traded to Florida. It actually came out this is actually not true. It was just reported that he was airing out his equipment after a long day of practice or skating, something similar to that.
Yep, whoopsies, our fault.
So
extreme check that. Yep,
we chucked the muffin on that one. We'll admit it.
That's the first muffin we chucked on this podcast so far. Our apologies.
However, I will say this. I don't think Hornqvist is still too thrilled with it because it is.
I wouldn't imagine.
Hornqvist, he ended up saying, once I found out Pittsburgh didn't want me anymore, I didn't want to be there anymore. So,
you know what I saw today, which I actually found kind of interesting. Even if Hornqvist rejected the trade, Pittsburgh was going to put him on waivers.
Really?
Yeah, and then Florida would have picked him up. It was something weird like that. I don't know. I saw that somewhere. I thought that was interesting.
Well, Rutherford said, I'm blowing up the roster this year. Well, while he didn't specify he was going to be doing it horribly and getting nothing in return, he did say he was going to blow up the roster this year.
He's done that so far. I mean, he's stayed true to his word.
Yeah, I mean, time to trade Gensel for a 6th-round pick now or something at this
rate.
Maybe
a 5th, maybe a conditional 4th if he's
bag
lucky.
Of chips, flavor pending on
Doritos.
Choice.
It better be Doritos. All right, so we'll take the fault on that goof. And with that, let's move into Patrick Laine. How about this? Patrick Laine's been out there And so his name's been out there in the rumors lately. What do you think? Do you think Line is going to be on the move?
Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if he was. I personally don't think it's the right move. In fact, it's the
Nope.
wrong move in my opinion
Completely the wrong
because
move.
Patrick Laine, he's 22 years old. He's an
Correct.
RFA next year, or 2022 rather. Um, and he's obviously like I'd say a top 3 forward on that team.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So why would you get rid of such youth, such value, and such skill, like a goal scorer, might I add? Like I heard they want to add like center depth maybe, or
They
like
don't
a
have yeah,
defense
they don't have a second line center.
or a
That's
defenseman. But that's the wrong move to make. You don't get rid of him for that. You can do
it's
something else.
it's a potential 50 goal scorer, and those don't grow on trees. So
No, they don't.
those are really hard to come by. And then just giving one up, oh, they better get a haul if they do move him. I can tell you that. But
Right.
what team would even be in on a guy like Line? What team has the assets to go out and get Line?
Depends what they want.
You know
Like they said
what?
they wanted like a center.
I'd imagine they'd want even at least a second line
Maybe they could add a
center
defenseman if they need.
or a right defenseman, a top 4 right defender. Those are necessities I think they have to get back. And you know what team might be a possibility for them
Who?
if they can if they can free cap the New York Islanders.
The New York Islanders going in on Patrick Laine.
Yes, it does make sense. If you look at the Islanders, they don't have like besides Barzal, they don't have that guy. That's actually not even take out Barzal. They don't have a guy that's going to go out and score 30 goals a season. They don't have that. And Patrick Laine is exactly that. They do have some interesting pieces. I feel like the Jets would be in on. I feel like they got Beauvillier. I feel like the Jets would be
Right.
interested in him. They got prospects. They got their draft picks.
But you said if they clear up cap, what would they be willing to give up to do that?
So if they trade out, oh, okay. So how much is Line? Oh, Line is an RFA. So Line is going to have to get paid, and I think next summer he gets paid, or whenever the hell it is next all season. Line is going to get paid, and can the Islanders take him on? I don't really think so. They're going to have to work around it, but I think it's a fit though. Like I think
It's a
Line,
fit. Don't
it
get
is
me
a fit.
wrong.
No, it's a fit, but whether or not that's going to actually happen or not is.
And
We'll
like we
see.
said already, they're gonna want like a second line center or something like that in return. The Islanders,
Beauvillier.
uh, I don't know. I wouldn't. I
I
wouldn't.
like Beauvillier and the Jets. I think that's good. But I don't know if Beauvillier is a natural center.
No, he's a left winger listed.
Yeah, that's what I think. But I think he does play center, so I'm not
They move
sure.
him over sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Interesting. Who else do you think would go after Line A?
Well, let's think. It's a team that
They need scoring.
needs a top 6 score. Let me just put it to you this way: like the fact that they're even talking about trading, this is probably the most comparable anyone's been to Ovechkin in his rookie year.
Yeah.
And let's face it, Ovechkin's the greatest goal scorer of all time. So the fact that they're even thinking about moving him is absolutely ludicrous to me.
I mean, how much is he gonna want on his next contract? Like, what does that contract look like for Line A? Do you think he
Well,
goes bridge or long term? If he's with the Jets.
assuming he stays with the Jets, I think. Well, Winnipeg is obviously going to want to keep him long term. Like
I think Winnipeg
in a
wants to keep him long
situation
term.
like this,
Mm-hmm.
he's 22. But if he stays long term, he's going to want a lot of money.
I'd say upwards of 8.5.
Yeah,
At least, maybe
at
even
least,
9.
yeah.
Because if you look at like what Marner's making, like that's he can get at least 8.5, I'd think. But I don't know. I don't know if the Jets want to pay him 8.5 though. That's the thing. They're already playing Wheeler 8, Connor 7, Shifley 6. Like
Ehlers is making 6.
Ehlers is making 6 too. I don't know. I mean, it's tough. They'd have to get a haul. If they're gonna make this trade work, they have to get a freaking haul for him.
Yeah, like get like valuable draft picks, get like that center that they need.
And the Islanders, they have those assets. That's why
Yeah.
I feel like it would be a decent trade. Even like Montreal, maybe they
Yeah, I
don't
was
really need
literally.
they don't need a winger, but
They
he's
could overall just use
perfect.
forward help in
Yeah, no, they
general.
need forward help in general. Uh, maybe you can. Oh, you can throw Max Domi at them. That's a starting point.
Max Domi's an RFA. He's not going to want as much as Line,
He's
so
not. And the
that
Jets need a second line center, and that's a second line
that
center.
honestly would work a lot. Yeah.
So Domi to the Jets for line A. But there obviously has to be something else in there. Probably throwing a prospect, I think, a defensive prospect, maybe a draft pick.
Um.
Maybe Domi, defensive, maybe like Victor Mete. I don't know, I'm just throwing out names in a first, maybe. Does
Kale
that get the
Fleury.
trade done? Yeah, maybe Kale Fleury. I think they want a right defender if I'm
Kale
Winnipeg.
Fleury is a right defender.
He's a right defender. All
Yeah.
right, so that works perfectly.
Plus, Kale. I don't know why. It's probably just the fact that his last name's Fleury that makes me really like him. But I'm really high on Kale Fleury. I don't know why.
He's a good little defenseman. I
Little.
like I'm pretty high on Romanov. I think he's gonna be really good this year for Montreal.
Yeah. Romanov. Yeah.
Maybe the Jets go after him in a trade. He's a left defender, but it still could work out. It's interesting. Any other teams you think? For Line A?
Honestly, wow. No, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, Line to Montreal for Domi and maybe, like you said, Romanov or Fleury or a pick. That actually wouldn't be horrible for
It wouldn't be bad.
Winnipeg. That'd be a step in the right direction because while they are losing, like I said, an incredible goal scorer in Line, they're also gaining a young center who's on an RFA deal. He's going to want less money than Line is going to want when he becomes an RFA.
How about Minnesota?
Minnesota could also very
Minnesota,
much
they
use
got a blue
Line.
Line.
They do.
They do have a center prospect that
They're
I
looking to
think
get
they
rid
might
of
want to
Dumba,
give
too.
up. That's what, dude. Dumba, Donato, a prospect, and either a first or a second. That's not that bad either. That's all right. That's not as good as
Definitely.
the Montreal offer, I don't think, but it's
No,
not
but
too bad.
it's also just speculation. I mean,
No,
like
it
to
is
be honest,
completely speculation.
I don't really see Winnipeg doing that because while they do get Dumba, they don't really get that good of a center that they need. Like they need
Yeah,
a second line center.
Donato's kind of a little bit of a question mark. Like we don't really know
Yeah,
exactly what he's gonna be.
like
So
maybe throw a pick in there, sweeten that deal up a bit. Then yeah,
mhm,
maybe.
I can see it. Also, what about another team that rumored to have talked to Winnipeg about it? Philadelphia.
About Line.
Yeah,
Well, Philly has. I mean, unless Winnipeg, I don't know, because to be honest, he had a great like first year, maybe 2 years, and then fell off. You already know, fucking
yep.
Goss spare. He had such a great like first 2 years,
You think
like
Gossesphere
lately,
would go
and
back in
that
a trade like that?
honestly, like that's what I'm trying to think. Like, do you think Winnipeg would be like,
Ooh,
okay, maybe we
Gossesphere
can
in
bring him back?
Winnipeg? That's not that bad.
Because let me like see, because he's been like so quiet after like for the past like few years. He's just been like,
They'd
where?
have to give if Philly were to go after Lana, they'd have to give Konechny, I think.
Yeah, you're kind of right on that one. I feel like Konechny would have to be involved just because of he's also young. He's already probably a top six center. I'd agree. I think.
If I'm Winnipeg and Konechny's not in the trade,
Never
I'm not even accepting the call, honestly.
just hang up on him.
Because looking here right now, they really don't have anything else that Winnipeg would be interested in, I don't think. Maybe like Cam York on the blue line, but then that's not really a starter for Line A, so
No, they don't really want future value kind of. They kind of want
it had to be a mix of both. It'd have to be a roster player and maybe a player for the future.
right.
That's what
Yeah.
I could say. But it's all speculation. We have Line can never get traded. We never know. So we're just here talking about it. So on that note, let's get back to Henrik Lundqvist.
He honestly, what I want to see happen, and this is obviously assuming game like attendance is allowed, or even if it's fucking minimal attendance. like like what football's doing, like they
Mhm.
let in like a very small percentage of people in.
Yep.
If Henrik Lundqvist gets like signed to a huge cup contender and they make it to the cup final,
Hmm.
I'm 100% going to, and it's like
You're going to the game.
I'm going to the game and watching him lift
Okay.
that cup, and I'm wearing my Lundqvist jersey, and I'm gonna cheer so hard for a team that isn't the Rangers if that ever happens.
You know what? You want to hear this thing I kind of came up with about Lundqvist today? That
But,
where I think his future might be.
hmm,
So, we can already speculate that Lundqvist probably has a job offer somewhere in the Rangers organization. I don't know where it is,
hmm.
but just looking at Lundqvist, he looks like a future GM to me. He does. I feel like one day he could be the future GM of the New York Rangers.
You mean like physically, like?
Yes, him himself being the GM.
All right. I think Lundqvist being a GM isn't the only reason I don't see it is because when he got in trouble. I remember when Zuccarello got traded to the Stars
Okay.
because he said you can't have friends on like ever in hockey, like because he got traded. Like everyone he was friends with got traded.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like with that mindset, him being a GM just probably wouldn't work because then
Oh
think
yeah,
about
he
it,
has to ship off players that
exactly.
Mhm.
He's gonna be feeling like, damn, he was friends with this player. I can't do that to the
Yeah.
morale.
Hmm.
Like I just don't see it.
All
I
right. Yeah, I do get that.
being in the Rangers organization isn't completely out of the question. What it is, I'm not
No,
sure.
I have no idea. It could be anything. It could
But
be a scout. It could be
exactly, yeah.
developmental coach. It could be literally anything.
Plus, we don't really need a new GM. Jeff Gordon's
No, yeah, he's
doing a
fine.
pretty damn
But I'm
good
just saying,
job.
down the line, maybe 10 years down the line, 15 years, Lundqvist might give it a try in the front office. We'll see. But for Lundqvist's playing career past this year, do you see him playing on another team?
Yeah, I want to like if he signs somewhere like that needs a goalie like Detroit, I'm gonna say, well, what the fuck? Like you're
Hmm.
back at square one, except worse. Like
You know what I think Henrik Lundqvist is going to do this offseason?
what?
Uh, he's played in New York for how many years? A while, right?
15, I think. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to leave New York. I think he's taking his talents upstate New York, baby.
As in,
Henrik Lundqvist is going to play on the Buffalo Sabres next year.
you're fucking stupid. I'm
No, I'm
sorry.
not.
Do
Do you
you
want to
want
hear
my
why?
hat? Do you want my hat?
Do you want to hear
You're
why?
capping.
Do you want to hear why?
Let me hear your
Okay,
reason.
so just think back to what I just said. He's been playing in New York for how long? The guy doesn't want to leave New York. And there's no spot for him with the Rangers. There's no spot with him for the Islanders. And in Buffalo, it literally just works out, I think, perfectly. Buffalo needs that guy to come in, an Eric Stahl type. Lundqvist is along the lines. He's a veteran. He's been around a while. He can come
Hey,
to that
Sabres
locker room.
fans,
He can
I'm
change the
so
locker room.
excited. That guy, he think all right. The only problem I have with what you just said is you said it's his home. Manhattan is his home. Big
Okay.
Apple is where he fell in love.
Okay.
His wife loves it there.
I know, but he can still live there and play in Buffalo. Is what I'm saying.
Buffalo's like
Yes, but Henrik Lundqvist is also made of money. He can fly to the games. It's not like he's
yeah.
taking a freaking bus to the game.
But I just don't see that being a thing.
I,
Honestly, I want to see him go somewhere that's like a cup contender, like Colorado. Maybe Colorado doesn't really need him though.
that's
Well,
what I'm
I
saying.
mean, maybe
Buffalo, but like he's gonna be able to play in Buffalo. What contender is he gonna go to where he's gonna be able to play? Unless he's okay with being a backup and playing 25 games.
Washington,
Yeah, Washington works.
because
Washington,
they're gonna
possibility.
want like Samsonov. He's like really young. He needs a capable
Same thing
backup
with
one.
it's the same thing with Olmark.
Two,
Even
a
like if
mentor.
Markstrom leaves, he can go to Vancouver, something like that.
Yeah,
He could even go to Edmonton. They need a goalie.
I can see that.
There's honestly endless possibilities for Lundqvist this season.
All of them except for the abomination that you said. I found that so fucking stupid. I'm
No,
sorry.
it just works. I feel like
If it happens, I'll let you punch me in the face as hard as you can.
I'll take that
That's
deal.
how confident I am in that.
I don't know. I don't know if Buffalo is going to pursue him. I don't know if he wants to go to Buffalo. I personally wouldn't want to go to Buffalo. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. He could always retire too. He could just
Yeah,
Say
he could
I don't
say,
want
you
to
know
play
what?
anywhere that's not the
That's
Rangers. So
yeah.
I'm done.
Building off on what you said about New York being his home, like he might just not want to leave Manhattan at all. He might just
I
say, you
know,
know what?
just work in the
Had a
Rangers
great career.
organization,
Exactly.
be a
Yeah.
goalie coach.
Yep.
All right, so moving on. Let's get in. Okay. So now what we're gonna do? We're going to look at every single NHL team and see. Oh, because buyout week just opened, I think a couple days ago. So teams can buy out whoever they want. So we're gonna look through every single team and kind of pick who they might like be a target to buy out. So I'm on Philadelphia. So let's start with the Boston Bruins. On Boston, honestly, I don't think there's any really bad contracts
No,
here.
I was just thinking that. I was looking at it. I was like, well, last time I said I can go to every team and find someone to buy out, and then I opened up Boston and I said, well,
Yeah, never
guess I'm
mind.
wrong. Because Boston, they really don't have anything bad. Like Krejci's contract is like like paying him a lot of money, but it's over next year. So like, Bergeron he's 35. I don't even that I'd still pay him that much money like right now,
Yeah,
6.87.
that's not bad.
Pasternak, like that's not even
No,
in the
yeah, like
question.
everyone here is either
Like
underpaid or
or
valued
or
pretty well.
right there.
Nope.
So Boston, good job.
Nope. Yep.
Good,
No
good
one
on
on
Boston
Boston.
for that.
All right, let's move on to Buffalo. Henrik Lundqvist's former team.
Future, you schmuck. If you're talking about what you're talking about, it's future. You dumb bitch.
Shit, you're right. Okay, so I think on Buffalo, I think Okposo they look at
Yeah, wow.
for a
6 mil
buyout for 3
up
more
until
years too.
2024. Yeah.
Ouchie.
Yeah, I don't like that. That looks horrible. He doesn't. I don't
That
even
was
know
one of
where
those
he would go.
contracts that were
At the
signed
time
during
it was
that.
good,
Yeah.
but now it came back to bite him in the ass. And yeah, they got till October 8th. They got to get rid of that.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not even effective anymore. Ever since he went to Buffalo, it's just been so.
Yeah, wait. So ever since he's been in Buffalo,
Yeah.
you know what his highest point total was 45, and that was when he first went there.
Probably his
Which
first year.
that's still not really worth 6 mil in my opinion. Now you know what his point total was with 52
He
games.
didn't even hit 20. I don't think.
Kyle Okposo had 19 points.
Yeah, didn't even hit 20. Ah, man, it's crazy. Buffalo, they need Lundqvist, man. They really do. All right, Detroit. I feel like there's more contracts that are buyoutable than not on this team, honestly.
What do you mean? Like
there's I think more worse contracts than good contracts is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, Franz Nielsen's making 5.25 until 2023.
Oh, Franz Nielsen.
Is that worth a buyout, you think? Because it's not like
you know,
because
maybe
he's a leadership role there.
But still,
But that's still a
still
Nike town amount of money.
If I were to pick between, if I were to have buy out one player in Detroit, I'd pick Advocator.
I'm also looking at Abdelkader. Yeah, he's 33.
He's got another year
up until 2024, making way too much money to be very below average. You're kind of right on that one. I think Abdelkader's got to go just because it's longer of a contract.
Yeah, he's once again, he's just not an effective player anymore. Ken Holland locked him up long term when he shouldn't have. So let's move on to Florida now. Honestly, with Florida, I don't really see anything notable with the buyout. Maybe Anton Strawman, but I feel like that's really not a problem.
Yeah, he's only got like up until 2023. Maybe you kind of got a point. He is 34. He's making too much to be.
It depends. If he's still playing good and solid, then fine, keep it. But if not, then look for a trade. Maybe even buy it if you have to.
I mean, I can see someone who should be bought out like in a few years.
Yep.
Sergei Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky.
Most lucrative contract ever.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking signing that one. So let's move on to Le Montreal. And for Montreal, no, there's one contract. Carl Alsner.
Yep. Oh, 100%.
Man,
yeah.
He's terrible. He is awful.
It hurt to watch too because he played really pretty good in Washington and then signed in Montreal and everyone's like, oh, cool, Montreal's blue line's so much better now. And then he ended up being a Laval Rocket shortly after.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at it
32 years
right
old.
now. Montreal's playing a lot of money to the blue line.
Um, yeah, I mean Weber and Petrie is kind of worth the money. Alsner is kind of a hit. They're giving up a lot of money to Edmondson that I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
give up
don't
to
know,
someone like
man.
Edmondson.
Edmondson,
Sherratt is making a bit much, 3.5.
Kulak's good. That's cheap, but
That's fine.
you got what 5 defensemen making over 3.5? That's a lot,
Yeah, especially one of them
and one of them's not
who
even playing.
should be susceptible to buyout. Yeah, get rid of him.
Yep. All right, moving on to this tire fire, the Ottawa Senators.
Tire fire.
You have to have contracts signed to like buy out people, and that seems to be their problem here.
They have 3 contracts that aren't ending this off season. Well,
For the forwards, yeah.
and for defense, it's 4. But what do you think here? Do you think there should be a buyout? Because Zaitsev's making 4.5 until 2025, but I don't think he's problematic.
It's yeah, like on like another team that might be problematic, but it's Ottawa. Like they have no reason to buy out any contracts. They're I think farther away from the floor than they are closer to it salary wise. So
right.
There's no reason to buy out any contracts on that team.
Specifically because they can't.
Exactly.
No one signed.
I think they'd be. Were they even allowed to? Are they even allowed to buy? Oh, they did buy. They bought out Bobby Ryan, so they are allowed to buy out people. So there goes my question. Tampa Bay. The Stanley Cup winners buy out.
Yeah, what do you do after winning the Stanley Cup? You don't really want to lose that roster because, let's face it, they just won the Stanley Cup.
Well, they're going to have to make some moves. Tampa's going to have to do something.
Realistically, yeah, but what? Because honestly, I don't really see any bad contracts here except for Killorn, maybe.
Okay, so they're going to have to do one of the two things. They're going to have to, I'd say, move Yanni Gourde or Killorn. I'd say. I feel like you keep Johnson.
With Gourde, you can you could definitely get something in return for Gourde.
That's what I'm saying.
Valuable.
But
Killorn,
he's making a lot of money, Gourde, to be a bottom 6 forward, honestly.
Yeah, he had that one Calder finalist year and then never really
Yeah, he really never did anything after
much
that.
After he had like 30 points this year in 70 games, before that 48, and then his Calder finalist year he had 64. So I don't know what happened, to be honest with you.
And Tampa's, they got to shed out salary too. They got to sign Cirelli, they got to sign Sergachev, they got to sign Cernak.
Yeah, they do.
They got to sign some important pieces to that team, especially Cirelli and Sergachev. Because what? Sergachev's making 7, 6, I'd say.
He's going to be making a decent amount of
money. Cirelli, 4.5 lowest.
Right.
So that's at least, I'd say, 10. And what do they have? 5. So they're going to have to trade at least one of Killorn, Johnson, or Gourde, if I'm guessing. So
I vote Gourde just because you can get more value.
I vote Gourde too. I don't even know if you get more value out of him. It's just the player.
Just get more money as well.
I wouldn't want Gourde out of all these players because Johnson's pretty good. Killorn's valuable for what he does. He plays, a physical style play, and then there's Gourde. I don't know, making the most. Yeah. All right, let's move on to Toronto Maple Leafs. Is there anyone buyout worthy on the Leafs? The answer is no. I don't think so.
Well, while I see 3 forwards being paid 10+ mil to not produce what they should be producing, as in playoff performance. No, I don't really see anyone worth a buyout here. No, because the guys that are making a lot of money are young and they're valuable, and the guys that aren't making a lot of money,
honestly, are still young.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of a young team. No one's really made their money yet.
Like the oldest, Tavares. Yeah, like the average age of their forward core is 24.7 years old. That's really young.
That's pretty good.
So, no, definitely no buyout here for Toronto.
No buyout. So that's it for the Atlantic Division. So let's go to the Metro now. Carolina Hurricanes. I don't see it.
No, because I don't see one either, to be honest.
Don't see one.
Because it's almost like Toronto in a way. Like the guys that are making a lot of money are young.
They're young.
They deserve that money. So
honestly, maybe I know he's your captain and everything. Maybe in like a year or two, maybe look at Jordan Stahl.
Yeah,
He'll be
I was thinking that
34.
too because he is making 6 mil up until 2024. But
He's your captain,
he is the captain.
If you can afford him, keep him.
He
He's a
still
great
looks
player.
he looks fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
there's no reason to buy him out. All right, so that's it for Carolina. Now Columbus Blue Jackets. Now there are at least two that I can see.
who are you
Maybe
thinking?
I think
Got
just
it.
one. I think that they should buy out Wenberg. And
I
that's it.
agree. Yep.
To make it 4.9 for 3 more years. That's just too much for a guy that's just doesn't really produce like he did that 1 year when he got paid.
Exactly.
He
Yeah.
produced 1 year, got paid, and then hasn't done it since. So
That's what sucks is you put up
yeah,
like if you're an NHL GM, like you have this guy that has a great season and he's looking really promising, and then you pay him, and then he just goes, no, I'm not good anymore. Like he just stops.
like that's just it. Must be a sickening feeling for a GM.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got to. Yeah, he should be bought out. He's making almost 5 mil for up in 2024 to put up bottom six forward numbers.
Yeah. You want to know kind of an interesting signing I didn't know Columbus made?
What?
Mikhail Grigorenko.
Yeah,
I
he's a Blue Jacket.
forgot he came back. I think that might be honestly a good little signing for the Blue Jackets. He was a top 10 pick years ago, so maybe he can rekindle.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. All right. New Jersey Devils. There's definitely one player that could be bought out on this team. Maybe two.
Give me a hint. Is one of them a defenseman?
Yes, one of them is defenseman.
Has he been on the cover in an NHL video game?
He has been on the cover of an NHL video game. He's also
All right.
making $9 million.
Is it
PK Subban.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's got to go. I don't even. What happened to Subban, bro? Like, is it? I understand New Jersey. Like, let's face it, sucks, and like, it's like, he probably smells something fishy every time he's playing hockey there.
Yeah.
That's must be what's throwing him off. But he went from being like 60 some, almost like 45 plus points every year, and he was just a pretty good offensive defenseman. And then all of a sudden he goes to New Jersey and he just looks horrible. Like he
was awful. Like
terrible.
I'm looking at his stats right now. He had 18 points in 68 games this
and a
year.
minus 21.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Oh man.
And he had 65 giveaways and 19 takeaways.
That's a tough
holy
one.
Shit, dude.
Yeah,
Get him out of there. Buy him out.
It's gonna be a hefty buyout though. $9 million over 2 years.
I love Subban too because everything he does off the ice, like he's a genuinely awesome person.
He's really a great guy.
And when he was a great player, I was like, wow, this is really someone I should consider looking up to as a young person. And now I still should off the ice, but now like I don't know, just it sucks seeing him do this. Like I hope he can go somewhere else and play like he used to, but I don't know what happened. I really don't.
I don't know. I think he might just need to change the scenery.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he gets bought out, pulled like Kevin Shattenkirk, comes back, wins the cup, has a great year. I don't know. We'll see. And someone else on New Jersey that deserves getting bought out, who once again was good like 3 years ago and now is terrible. Corey Schneider.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about him.
Man.
Yeah, we got to get him
$6
out of there,
mil for 2 years. Jesus Christ.
Being an AHL goalie.
Yeah, he's not even an NHL caliber goalie anymore. You got to move on from that contract. I don't know what it is to buy it out, but you got to move on from that.
I'd rather just buy him out and take that penalty than have to pay him that for 2 more years, yeah.
Yep. All right, New York Islanders. I don't think there's anyone who needs to be bought out. Maybe
the only person I would think would be Boychuk, but he's only got.
Yeah, I can see Boychuk.
2023.
If they absolutely need cap space, you can buy out Boychuk, and that's if you can't move him or even like a Komarov or anyone like that to make him money because you got Clutterbuck, Yazikis, and Komarov making like $9 million combined.
We kind of just completely missed the biggest meme on the Islanders, Andrew Ladd.
Oh God,
making 5.5.
I did miss that
2024. He's 34, bro. Andrew Ladd needs to be bought out like now.
Yeah, I think
I have no idea what's next for him. Maybe sign because he's not too old. Like he could still
No,
play hockey.
He's done.
I just don't think in the NHL.
He's done unless it's like a fourth line role,
Like maybe
a
like
third
sign
line
someone
role.
for the AHL, but that's all I can think
Yeah,
of really.
he couldn't even make the NHL roster this year. So those are a couple buyout candidates on the Islanders, and let's move on to the other team in New York Rangers.
Don't ever refer to them as the other team in New York. We're the New York team. Okay, have some respect.
I mean, since you bought out Lundqvist, there's really nothing else that.
I could see one that we're gonna need to buy out in a few years if he doesn't fucking produce after we traded for him.
Jacob Trouba. Oh man.
Dude, I don't even know what happened. I was so excited, and I was like, okay, yeah, we're paying him a bit much for a really long time, but like it doesn't matter. He's gonna be so good. We just fixed our blue line so much, and then he just goes, no, you didn't.
Dude, I saw that contract. I was like, what?
I was exactly. I was just excited. I was just so excited to have him, and then he just spit in my mouth, and I was just like,
what has Jacob Trouba done to make $8 million? He had 150-point year.
Yeah.
150-point year, and he made $8 million.
I remember watching him. He turned the puck over more.
Man,
like he had 69 giveaways.
Nice. Like someone like Burns. Burns is making the same as Trouba, but like Burns had a pedigree. Like Burns would annoy.
Burns is still elite.
Burns, Burns can put up 60 points in his sleep.
Yeah, Trouba again only had a 150-point season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think we jumped the gun on that one.
Yeah, I never liked that.
It was like when we traded for Nemesnikov. Like we traded McDonough and Miller. McDonough just won a Stanley Cup, by the way, and McDonough is, I still argue, like a top 10 defensive defenseman.
McDonough's great. No, he's
McDonough's
really
an
good.
unbelievable defenseman. Miller lit it up in Vancouver, and he was lighting it up in New York before that. He was just super underrated. And then we traded them for Nemesnikov and something else. As soon as we got Nemesnikov, I was like, why would we do that? He's really producing because he's playing with Kucherov.
It was so clear, too. It was so clear.
Like, it hurt to watch.
Yeah, it did. That trade.
But yeah, for now, nothing really after Lundqvist. Trouba, keep your eye on for the next few years.
I like the team. You got an up-and-coming core. Keep at it. So, Philadelphia. Wait, no. I think honestly, they're pretty good. I think they're pretty good.
Fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, if they don't want to deal with him anymore because what am I missing? Why was he not playing in the playoffs?
Who, Ghost?
Yeah.
Gee, I don't even know.
Like did he opt out? Was he physically unfit to play?
He played some games, I think. I don't think he was scratch every game. He definitely played. I just don't think a lot.
Yeah, I remember him being scratched started like a few years ago. I remember reading it because I saw it on like a news.
I think there might be something like attitude-wise there too.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. That's just complete speculation though.
Yeah, maybe they could move him via trade and not have a cap penalty, but
actually, Matt Niskanen is making 5.7 for one more year. Maybe if that's a cheap buyout, you buy that out if you can't move it, if you need cap space. But like once again, really no reason to buy him out.
There's no reason to.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're making a big move where you need cap space. Otherwise,
right?
Nope. Keep it the same. Pittsburgh. What else can Jim Rutherford fuck up?
Well, considering it's Jim Rutherford, I'd assume buy out Sidney Crosby is next. Trade Malkin. Trade Gunsel. What else? I don't know. Some other sarcastic comment, but
sign Patrick Marleau to an 8-year deal. Yep.
For $6 million per year.
Yep.
No, realistically though, I don't really see anything.
Jack Johnson, man, he is terrible. Jack Johnson. He is terrible. Dude, even that Matheson contract, like, Jesus. Pittsburgh's
33.
Pittsburgh's paying Matheson, Dumoulin, Pedersen, and Johnson like over $15 million.
Yeah. A lot of their defensive money is going to that.
What?
So yeah, maybe you're right. Buy out Jack Johnson.
I hate this defensive core.
Honestly, like, that's it.
If besides honestly like Marino, I don't like it.
What, the defensive core? You mean?
Yeah.
I don't like it either. Just
Pedersen's okay, I guess. Dumoulin's all right. Letang's pretty good, but like
He's probably out of there soon.
Letang might be on the move.
Yeah,
And if
he's
you
probably
move
leaving.
Letang, you're gonna have Matheson, Dumoulin, Pedersen, Johnson, and Marino.
That easily could be one of the worst defensive cores. Like
What?
just because they're missing
What?
that it factor.
You got to think maybe they'll be in on like some free agent defenseman, any
Yeah.
free agent defenseman if they move out Letang, because that defense is terrible. Because they're gonna lose Schultz, so he's gone. Yeah, I don't know. Things don't look right in Pittsburgh, honestly.
No, they need a new general manager. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm up for it, guys. Like again, I'm young. Be the youngest GM in history. I'm smart,
debatable.
charismatic. It's fine. It'll work. Just hire me.
All right, let's move on to Washington. No, Washington looks pretty good.
Yeah, I don't have any problems with. Honestly, nah, never mind. Because I understand like he's making a lot of money and he's doing it for a long time, but he's still producing. So never mind.
Who?
I was gonna say Oshie, but like he's still producing. So like.
Yeah, he is.
Maybe in a few
30.
years.
Maybe in like 2 or 3 years we can get a conversation because that contract isn't too great.
Yeah, just because of its length, it's a bit much.
Did you hear what Ovi might want next year? He might want 12.
I mean, let's face it, he's worth it, but for how long? How long does he want it for?
I can't see more than 3 years. I just can't. He's 35.
Yeah,
it can't be more than 3 years.
He's still chucking like a motherfucking
exactly.
Train.
He's still scoring 40 in his freaking sleep.
He's the greatest goal scorer of all time. Anyone who says it's Wayne Gretzky,
you're an idiot.
No,
you're an idiot.
Ovechkin, Alexander Ovechkin, greatest goal scorer of all time.
All right. So in conclusion, no buyouts on Washington. So let's move on. Not yet. All right. Let's move on to the West. Chicago Blackhawks. Personally, maybe Zach Smith can't move that contract. Once again, they're paying a lot of money to just average blue liners. DeHaan's making 4.5.
I don't like that.
Only Mata's making 4. I heard he might get bought out. Mata, and I heard Zach Smith out there too. So those are 2.
Mata, I could see. Other than that, yeah, no. I don't even know about Smith. I would honestly just think Mata, if anything, maybe DeHaan if they don't want him anymore. But
yeah, because $4 million for Oli Mata. That's tough. Same thing with DeHaan.
Yeah, again, like just to be like an average blue liner, like.
And like they're paying a lot of money to a lot of big guys here, and we can't even forget about Mr. Brent Seabrook over here, making literally
spit it out
all the money in the world for 4 years. I couldn't think of anything to say for 4 years. But he's on LTIR, so I don't think they have to buy that contract out.
Yeah, no, it's different. Like the rules don't really like apply to it.
I already know there's no buyouts on this team. Colorado Avalanche.
No, absolutely not. Because like
the only person I can maybe see is Eric Johnson in like a year, maybe 2, but still no. Just
exactly. Yeah,
everything there
yet.
is fine. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no buyout. Absolutely none. Especially because McKinnon's making fucking 6.3. Like that's
3 more years too. What?
That's and he said, and you know what he said? He said when that contract is done, I'm gonna take a team friendly deal. That's how you win cups. Yeah. That's how Boston made it like several times because their guys are taking pay cuts.
They all buy in.
Exactly.
That's kind of what Tampa did in a way too.
Exactly.
Because look at some of those guys. They took way less than market value. Exactly. Stamkos is making like 9.5. Kucherov's making like 9.5 too.
100%. Yeah.
They could have easily got paid. Yeah.
And that's how you.
They want to win. I don't blame them. All right, let's move on to Dallas Stars, team that lost in the Cup final.
Oh yeah. By the way, I just want to say this now. Joe Pavelski will be back better, stronger, faster, smarter, and more determined to win than ever.
He's got 2 years left. Dallas can maybe make another run. We'll see. But maybe buyout wise,
no, nothing here really.
No, I don't say anything. Klingberg's making 4.2 for the next 2 years. Pretty damn good contract.
That's a great contract. That's a wonderful contract. Great.
All right, moving on. Minnesota Wild. Now they have a couple buyout. potential.
Victor Rask is
Victor
one of them.
Rask. I heard they aren't going to buy him out, though. That's what I heard.
I mean,
which is
to
kind
be
of
fair,
surprising. Like,
it really is. Like he had like a few decent years in Carolina, and then he went to Minnesota and just
for Nino Niederreiter, straight
for
up.
not I can't believe that still, and just
Straight up.
looked terrible.
Yeah. He's not been good in Minnesota.
13
at
points
all.
in 43 games in Minnesota for this season.
It's terrible.
I think Victor Rask needs to be bought out. That's just me.
Apparently they're gonna give him a shot. Do GM there. Give him a shot. Might as well.
I guess maybe,
Can't hurt.
but
Maybe if they can't trade Dubnyk, maybe they buy Dubnyk out. But
but they only got like 1 or 2 years left on it. So
I know, but then they'll save like probably like $3 million in that, I'd say.
Yeah, okay. I guess they could use
They'll
that.
free up cap, yeah. So if they make a move, they can go after it. All right, Nashville. There's one player on Nashville that needs to get bought out. Like, this guy needs to get bought out. Kyle Turris. Oh my God.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Dude, he's making $6 million for the next 4 years.
You know what happened? I think I honestly I was gonna say something that I thought was smart, but I don't even know what the fuck happened to Turris. He was great in Ottawa. He looked, really, really good, and then all of a sudden he gets traded to Nashville, and then he had a decent year, and then he's just been falling ever since. He just doesn't look good. He's making too much money to be putting up that type of production for the next 5 years.
He needs to change the scenery, and with that contract, you can't trade him. You just can't.
No, you got to buy him out. I think
You have to. That's at the top 6 forward right there. It's a top 6 forward that's a top 6 forward money that they're not paying a top 6 forward. So at Nashville, they need goal scoring. So
yeah, so I think
you got to make a change there.
Getting rid of Turris via buyout, best move they can make.
I agree. Besides that, everything else is fine. Yeah, everything else is fine. All right. Moving on to St. Louis Blues. I maybe see one buyout.
Who is it?
Steen.
Alex Steen, yeah.
If they need cap space to
resign Vince Don,
Petro, they do need cap space.
They will.
They do need the cap space.
But Petro's not. He's walking like it's.
I heard they're gonna pitch one more offer. That's what I heard. I heard they're going one more big offer, and then if not, then he's hitting UFA. So maybe they buy out Steen, trade like Scandell, even though they just signed him. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. So before this year, knowing that Alex Petrangelo's UFA, they signed Falk to 6.5 over whatever. What is that? 7 years. Then they paid Scandella 3.275 over 4. And these are both right-handed defense. Oh, Scandella's a lefty, but one of them's a right-handed defenseman. You gotta think that they brought in Falk to replace Petro, right?
I mean, if anything, yeah. I mean, that's kind of a downgrade, but
why? I don't understand. Why go out and replace the player you're planning on getting rid of, but when you could have kept him if you didn't get your replacement? Just I don't know.
I think they goofed that one a bit.
They did, and Falk didn't even have a good year. Like, he really wasn't even good. What did he do this year?
Falk,
16 points in 69 games. Nice. What a joke.
That's really bad.
Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah, he's gotta figure it out. He's gonna be bought out soon. That's terrible. All right. Honestly, in a couple years, Falk might get bought out. That contract's awful.
I could see that.
Yeah. All right. Moving on from the Blues, the last team in the Central, Winnipeg Jets. Talked about him before. Buyout wise,
I don't see much here.
Nah, maybe Perot if you absolutely need cap space, but that's the thing. I don't think they need space, and you can trade him too. He has value, so
yeah, like his contract could be worse, so maybe trade him for something.
It's not that bad. You can always retain salary on that too.
Yeah,
so someone will take Perot at 2. So.
Yeah, I just don't think a buyout's necessary.
No, me too. So Winnipeg's good. Anaheim. Anaheim's one of those teams that they probably have people. Yeah, they do, but there's just no point in buying them out. Like Anaheim's in no rush to be good. So, oh, they have no cap space either. Wow.
Yeah, no,
They have like no
very
one to sign anyway. So,
again, yeah,
and they're not going to sign anybody either. So,
the best guy they have to sign is Matt Irwin. So
yeah,
honestly they're probably going to be the most boring team this offseason, if I had to take a guess.
they're going to get a new backup goalie. That's the biggest thing they do. Wow. Nah.
Like,
All right. Yeah. So nothing with Anaheim, Arizona. What are we gonna talk about? Clayton Keller's contract.
wow.
Because he has not lived up to that contract.
He did what Gord did. He just had like a rookie, a Calder finalist year.
So in his rookie, do you have the stats in front of you?
Yeah, he so rookie year he had 65 points in 82 games. The lowest he's gotten since then was this year with 44 points in 70 games, and before that he had 47 and 82.
So he had a better year than last year, but still, I don't know, man. That's not $7 million.
He's valuable, but like for what he's making right now, it's not. Again, but you know what's crazy is they're about to blow up their roster. So
yeah, he could be on the move for all we know.
He could.
I'd say no one's safe in Arizona right now.
But other than that, in terms of buyout,
nah, I don't really see a buyout.
I'm kind of curious. Actually, no. Nick Schmaltz is doing pretty good in Arizona. I think he should stay with that money. Yeah, I don't really.
I've always liked Schmaltz. Maybe Stepan if you can't move him, but then again, he's got 1 year left. It wouldn't be smart. So I'd say nobody with Arizona. Moving on to Calgary Flames. Well, they have Lucic. He's making way too much money, but besides that, man.
I don't even know why they traded for him. What did they trade for him again? I forget.
Neal.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was like shit for shit, basically. Just swapping bad contracts.
Yeah, honestly, buy out Lucic in my opinion. But then again, they probably want the grit.
For $5 million.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like yeah, they want the grit, but like for that much money, that's kind of big. That's a bit much.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're like whole blue lines up too. Jeez. Hamonic, Gustafson, Shellington,
Brody.
Oh wow, they're like entire blue lines up.
Yeah, so
that's kind of interesting.
If they do need the money, then I guess buy out.
They'll have the money. Calgary's gonna have money this offseason. Yeah, 17 mil. Yep. So Calgary could definitely make a splash this offseason. Just not buyout wise, I don't think. So let's move on to the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, I guess you could make the argument for James Neal, but
it's the same argument for Lucic.
Same argument. Just, is it even worth buying that contract out? It's going to be a lot of money for a lot of years. So
yeah,
might as well just eat it. And
penalty,
he's not that bad.
I mean, he's certainly turned it around since signing.
I'd rather have Neal than Lucic, just based on what they bring.
Because Neal went from 19 points in Calgary to 31 in Edmonton in a short amount of games. So.
He's he was effective at least. Lucic, he was effective, just not like point total wise. He just went out there and hit people.
Exactly, which you don't pay that much money for.
No, not $5 million for. So, I mean, how good is Mikko Koskinen? To making $4.5 million, right?
I think he had like one good year and then just kind of did the same thing. He kind of just shit the bed.
How did he do this? He played in the postseason, I think, for them. How did he? I don't think he did great. Based off, they got the shit kicked out of him. Yeah, no. He had a 9. No, he had his best year this year.
Yeah,
he had a 9.17. He played 38 games. I mean, I guess you can make it worthwhile. I don't think you buy that contract out, but I don't know if it's worth it. Right.
No, I don't think buyout for.
They gotta get another goalie though. They can't roll Koskinen as a starter and expect to make the playoffs with him playing like 50 games a year. You got to get another guy like Mike Smith that could play 30 to 40. All right, moving on. LA Kings. LA. It's like the same thing with Anaheim with them. They could buy out Brown. They could buy out Carter. Buy out Quick. But like, there's no point. Like, why?
They're not in any rush. Yeah,
You're not tight on cap.
They have no free agents to worry about.
Exactly. There's no reason to. Dion Phaneuf's making $4 million this year. Interesting.
Yeah,
Very interesting. All right. Time for my favorite team, San Jose Sharks. Despite what anyone says, they should not buy anybody out this offseason.
Well, who are people claiming that they should buy out?
Martin Jones.
Oh, well. Why shouldn't they buy out Jones?
Okay, so personally, despite what other people believe, me personally, I believe Martin Jones is still a capable NHL goalie. At that cap, no, he's not capable. It's not great. But I feel like there is at least some sort of rebound there. So if I'm the Sharks this offseason, what I want them to do, I want them to go pick up Thomas Greiss, sign him as a free agent, and roll him and Jones. Because Greiss will challenge Jones, hopefully, for the number one spot. And in turn, Jones will have to play better, naturally. I'd hope. So maybe competition sparks a little fire under Martin Jones. And
plus, you guys aren't really tight on cap. You just have to sign like LeBanc.
I mean, I'd say we're tight. We're not tight on cap. We definitely have money when we're going to spend money this offseason. We need to spend money. We need forward depth.
You need a center. If Thornton walks,
he's not going to walk. Come on.
So then you need to sign Thornton too.
We do. Thornton's going to pay whatever to play. So, if Thornton would be more than acceptable than taking like $1 million contract if the team was going to be good. So, same thing with Marlowe. We can get those guys cheap.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, besides Jones, anyone on the Sharks, I'd say no. Honestly, everyone's making, I'd say, fair, not buyout worthy money. So, yeah. That's the San Jose Sharks. Move on to the second last team, the Vancouver Canucks. Well, I see one staring me right in the face, Louis Eriksson.
Of course, yeah. I don't know why he hasn't been bought out. Like,
I mean, they've gone this far with it. Might as well just let it run its course. Maybe. I mean, it's got 2 years left now. Vancouver needs the space more than ever, and now especially. Maybe they pull the trigger on the buyout now. It makes sense.
I mean, yeah, you probably should.
They need cap space. They got three giant RFAs. They can't. We know they can't keep all three. So, to keep two, you might have to buy out that contract or make another move. Maybe you buy a Roussel or Beagle because they're making a lot of money for some reason. Even Ferland, I don't even know if he's going to play. Ferland might not even play next year. So.
Oh, well, yeah, they are making a decent amount of money. Those are all kind of good points. Ferland, Eagle.
Oh, and Barchese. Sven Barchi. Or Barchi. Sven Barchi. He's making 3.36, and he's not even playing in the NHL anymore.
Yeah, he got sent down.
They could buy him. So there's actually a decent amount of people making a pretty good amount on Vancouver.
For Vancouver, yeah.
And even Jordy Ben making 2 for 1 year. You can go him if you need it. Yeah, so Vancouver has a bunch of guys worthy. And final team, the Vegas Golden Knights. Personally with Vegas, I don't see anything here.
No, they got some pretty damn good contracts, actually.
Yeah, not bad. You got
they're not
locked up long term for pretty cheap. Marchessault, Tuck.
They don't really need that much cap.
No, they don't.
Because they aren't really signing that many free agents. Or RFAs, rather. And they don't really.
They're like number one for like Pietrangelo right now.
How?
Believe it or not, yeah.
What? How? Literally, how?
I don't know. You want to know the top 2 teams on Pietrangelo right now?
Pretty sure it's
Golden Knights and the Leafs. Those are the 2 top teams right now. Those are most likely.
The only reason it's the Leafs is because Toronto, the minute that a big free agent hits the market, like, can you come to Toronto? Like no, like
They're gonna
realistically,
make
no.
realistically, Pietrangelo is a great fit in Toronto. Like that'd be an unreal fit. I don't. I just can't see it working. Honestly,
No, me
I
neither.
can't. Vegas, I think it's a little more likely they can move out of contracts. Well, they have 5 million in space. No, they definitely can make it work. Yeah, you could trade a guy part of the top six, maybe Stastny. You move out. That's 6.5, right there, dude. Petro and Vegas could work.
Yeah, if they make the room for him, but
Literally, I think you just trade Stastny or
they
buy him
could.
out or whatever. Then yeah, we could see Petro in Vegas. Wow, dude, imagine that. All right, and that wraps up this little buyout segment thing we just did.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you stay tuned for daily uploads from Chuckin Muffins. Podcasts are coming out on Thursdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, turn the bell notification on, and yeah, we're out. Peace, boys.